YouTube. Today we are adding a computer fan to a Little Giant incubator, and we are getting ready to incubate some eggs. So I've really got to get this done, and I've been kind of holding off because the computer fan was $8 at a computer store. You can pick them up online for less. I picked up this one at a local computer store. It's called Stealth, and it's got the double ball bearing in it so that it said it would last up to 30,000 hours. I incubate eggs once a year. That's, you know, a pretty cheap add-on for the Little Giant. The actual fan that goes with the incubator was about $39.99 plus shipping. To get it to me, it was going to cost about $45. So to start with, if you need to know how to hook up the computer fan, it does not have power. You have to hook it up to a car charger for a cell phone, or a wall charger for a cell phone. I have another video that I just posted about that. A couple other things, a couple zip ties, 2.5-inch screws with nuts, and some of these small washers. You can use different sizes. This is just what I had on hand, and we're always trying to be thrifty and just use what we have. Okay, on the incubator, this right here is your cover for your heater, and there's a couple screws right here. You're going to want to loosen those up so that you can lift it. And how I am going to put this in, I'm going to put this, and you can shorten these too, however you like, just like this, so that this section here can go under there as I'm working on it. So just to show you, I did have to add the holes, and I'm putting it here in this spot. One of these plugs goes through on this side, and you take them out 3 days before hatch. So that fan is going to need airflow, and you want it so that the air flow on your fan is pointing down towards the eggs. So from this side, it's going to be, you know, facing up. I had to put the holes in it, and you could drill it out. I just used a drill bit and just pushed it through. You can have your screws facing up or down, and you want to put a washer on it. I think for ease, so I've got 4 screws and four washers. I don't want the screws being too long and pointing down at any of the eggs because I use an egg turner also. So I'm just going to push that through. And mine are a number 8, 32 screw that I'm using. They're small, so they go through here. And I got that size because they fit, and because that's the size nuts I had. So you can see here, I've got plenty of screw length still. I was afraid that the 2-inch might not go through the foam. So I just decided to get the 2.5 instead of running into town a second time. You just want to tighten those up. And you can see that I'm using another set of washers. I think that these rubber or felt washers would be best for you to use because a metal washer may just dig into the styrofoam. And these are probably a little bit on the small side, but I think they were 30 cents a piece at the hardware store for the size that I wanted to get. You can see where the heater screws in for the incubator, that they use a bigger rubber washer or felt washer also. But their screw head is also a little bit bigger. Now, I've only seen, and I hadn't really heard of this, I came across some forums for backyard chickens where people were asking, well, what do you think about the computer fan? And some people thought that it might be too noisy or create too much vibration, and in some cases, possibly even be too fast and cool the eggs. The idea of the fan is that it's going to crash your hatch rate by up to 50%. I've had some hatches with as low as 6. So with a full, 40 eggs in here. And a lot of it was just throwing them in, seeing what would hatch, and I've learned a lot more about them. Okay, so now our fan is in there. It's not going anywhere. I've heard of some people using different glues. I don't recommend it because glue on styrofoam sometimes will disintegrate the styrofoam. And this is just something extra that I'm doing. You don't have to do this. But I don't want these all out. And then I'm going to tighten that back up where I loosen the screws. And this is where the zip ties come in. I don't want this falling down and tripping up the turner. So I have the zip ties, and you can use wire cutters or just scissors. I'm going to zip tie this. You can see that the manufacturer has zip tied their connections here so that they're not slipping around. This one's just kind of there. But I just wanted to have everything together to make it look good and not be sloppy. We don't want to have this ending up next to a heat cord. There you go. There is the fan installed. And then this will help regulate the temperature on the eggs. And again, this is the fan I used. It's Stealth brand. It was $8.99. It's an 80 millimeter. That basically says that it's like 3 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch by 1 inch deep. If you have any questions, send me a message. I'll answer them the best I can. Bye.